The Hamish and Andy Show podcast. Powered by Amy. Lucky you're with Amy.
3, 2, 1.
I'm a busker and I've been singing cover songs all day. I really should have been singing about
nicknames.
Look, I love to relax with a good book, but the problem is I never read enough about...
I'm going to call you Bookie. Nicknames.
Well, everyone's agreed to drop everything because it's 3 o'clock. And Hamish and Andy have declared today's topic is...
You know, Chris Judd calls me Flash. Nicknames.
This is Hamish and Andy's Happy Hour.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hamish and Andy with you. Sorry, Flash and Andy with me.
He does, doesn't he?
If I was Chris Judd, I'd have to say it, Ham.
Well, the Brownlow medalist in the AFL and premiership player, Chris Judd, he does call me Flash, doesn't he, Ando? You heard him.
No, he has let you say that he calls you Flash.
He's not allowed to say that he doesn't call me that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we should have said it. We shouldn't say that Chris Judd calls you Flash. Chris Judd's not allowed to say
he's
that
not allowed to deny that he doesn't
Flash.
call me Flash.
That's right, yeah.
No, so he's not allowed to deny that he does call me that.
Flash,
And that was what I won when I caught the wild goose, if you were listening to the show the other day. And I captured the goose in under 15 seconds.
Worth getting on the podcast, actually.
Certainly, I'll have a look at the video.
Triumph for humans over geese. Hey, on this day in 1993...
Here we go.
The artist, once upon a time known as Prince.
You don't hear it put like that very often. You usually hear formerly known, not once upon a time, more of the fairy tale version.
Changed his name to an unpronounceable symbol.
That's true.
Yes. If you were a symbol, Ham, what would you be?
Probably a thumbs up.
I was going to say colon.
Oh.
You've just got an outstanding, windy wave from time to time.
I'd happily be a colon.
Yeah, or even a semicolon. Is it a bit softer?
I'd be a colon. If you would allow me to add a bracket to it, I'd happily be a smiley face or a / more of the...
Hey, straight after this, many people came forth, and we want to hear from you after this with how you got your nicknames, right? But the game I've created is I'm going to give you the nickname. You have to try and guess how it came about, and they'll reveal the answer.
So I am doing the origins of the nickname.
If you've got a nickname, want to hear from you next. Happy Hour, Hamish and Andy. Haim, today the topic is nicknames. That's why I've invented this game.
How'd you get your nickname? How did it come to be?
starring Hamish the Vanilla Gorilla Blake.
Thank you.
Nice to have you on.
Thanks so much.
What do you reckon your nickname is?
Vanilla Gorilla.
Okay, there you go.
I'll definitely take that from when I was a pro wrestler.
Yeah.
And I was larger, and I was against a lot of guys. We used to wrestle outside. They tanned. I didn't.
Hey, today the game works by these people have come forth, and I'm going to tell you their nickname. You've got to guess how it came about. I'll give you their first name. Ian's going to join us first, and his nickname is Dislocated Neon. I'll start with an easy one.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Ian, is he there? Have we got him
He's
online?
there, but
Dislocated Neon.
I want you to give
Okay,
us
I'm
your
just
answer.
trying
And
to.
then
I'll try and use my psychic powers here. Just tuning in and seeing some sort of accident in his life, some sort of below the waist, some sort of injury. I want to say ankle. It's not an ankle. Are there any other joints below the waist? Did you dislocate your knee playing? Were you roller skating, Ian?
No, I've done it. I have. You got it correct. I dislocated my knee 6 times, and 3 of which were in front of friends from school.
That's enough. That's enough to get you dislocated knee.
But that's a correct answer, Hamish.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
I did start with an easy one.
What I did there as a tactic was I just listened to the words you said, and then I used that as pretty much the explanation for how he got his nickname.
It gets harder.
Like Big Fat Bald Dave as a nickname, for example, or Giant Beard Ross.
Yeah. This one's a bit hard. Okay, I wanted to ease you into the game. Okay.
Paul with a really flat face.
His name is Blake.
Yep. Hero Blake or something.
And the nickname is Stringer.
Stringer.
How did he get the nickname Stringer?
Can he do those, when you drink a can of Coke and your spit goes sugary and you let your spit roll out till it almost touches the floor, and you suck it back up like a big long string of spit. Stringer. Is that how you got your name?
Not so bad. Stringer?
That's pretty close, but I used to get together with my mates to play some table tennis, and we used to get together in winter, and I had a really bad head cold one year, and I sneezed, and it was pretty much so thick that I could pretty much do what you were just describing, but from my nose,
From one day, you got your nickname.
Pretty much, but it's happened a couple of times. It's whenever I tend to get head colds, it just happens all the time.
Mucusy snot. I was going to say, people that get their nicknames from one day, that's an amazing event, usually. And it just said thick snot. I'm not saying the rest of your life is uneventful, but it must have been some powerful snot.
All right, Ham.
That's actually, I'm quite impressed with how close I was there.
But I'm going to say you're 1-1.
Okay.
Heading into this final question.
Must win.
Peter is his name.
Thank God it's not his nickname.
His nickname.
His real name is Jason. How did he get the nickname Peter?
His nickname is the Prowler.
Peter, you are a relative of Andy's somehow, and you are either his uncle who taught him how to prowl, or you in part of the same prowling society. Am I close?
Unfortunately not.
Is your nickname really the Prowler?
It is really the Prowler.
God, thank God,
Andy.
thank
I'm the only
God,
one.
it's not like personalised number.
No, you are the only one.
Thank God, it's not like personalised number plates where like only one guy can have the same nickname, because Andy would be
Thank God.
bidding like $10,000 to try and get you Prowler nickname.
Peter, your nickname of the Prowler is more accidental than mine, which is just a mate lying and pushing it on people. Please reveal to Hamish
how are you
about.
also called the Prowler?
Okay, so basically, when you're setting up an email, particularly with Gmail, names get taken pretty quickly. Like, you can't have the same email as someone else, obviously. So I decided, my name is Peter Rollins, decided to have P for my first name.
P. Rowler.
P. Rowell.
P. Rowler. Could also be another option. But I decided to use the P for my first name and R-O-W-L for my last name. And thought, P. Rollins. P. Roll. Unfortunately, it's also my business email. So whenever I give that out, or if I need to use it for uni or anything, I immediately just get called the Prowler, and everyone just laughs.
You're the Prowler.
He was going for P. Rowell.
P. Rowell, guys, like J-Lo, but then unfortunately...
Exactly, J-Lo.
It's a very unfortunate J-Lo composition because, you're P. Rowell.
Yeah.
Like Pedo in we used to work here. I mean, his last name's Peterson, and so he's going, it's Peto. Like, no, everyone calls him... When we started working, we were like, why does everyone call this guy Peto? And how's this? This is an actual moment that happened the other night. Here's my least favourite type of customer service, okay? And I know because I used to do it all the time, where someone in a store
don't use my tricks on myself.
pretends to help you by just doing what you could do if you were someone in off the street.
Yeah.
So I used to work at a store that sold Sony TVs and stuff. Yeah. Someone would, and I knew nothing about the products, and so someone would come in and they would go, hey, can you give me a hand with plasmas? Yeah, no worries. Walk up the back. What's the difference between this one and this one? And on the price ticket, I always have 3 features.
Yeah.
And I would essentially just stand there very confidently and read the 3 features of the first one, and then read the 3 features of the second one, and then finish it by going, so, you've got a choice to make.
Yeah, and that's it. Hence the price differential.
So always it would be like, the only way I could have been of help here is if you're illiterate. And I've read the 3 features that are usually are also pretty similar between the products. The other night, all we needed was mozzarella cheese. Now, unfortunately, we live near, it's not a supermarket, but it's more like a store that sells kind of like organic like they're way more likely to have almond paste than peanut butter, that sort of thing. So we're making pizzas at home. I'm like, I'll go get some mozzarella. Walk up, and they're also like these days, people are like, oh, cow milk. No, it has to be like rice curd or something like that. It's just your cow milk is just you would never. But walk up, look at the cheese section, and there's hardly any cheese. And I look at it, and a lot of it's just yogurts and buffalo.
Something
foam. So I go back to the counter and I go, hey, do you guys have any mozzarella? And the girl goes, mozzarella cheese? And I go, yes. And she goes, have you looked in the cheese section? I said, I had a look up there. No cheese, no mozzarella. And she went, I'll come and have a look. I said, oh, no. And I'm in a bit of a hurry because we're cooking. We're hungry. And I said, no, I've looked. It's not up there. She goes, I'll come and have a bit of a look. So I go, okay. So I'm like, I know, this is exactly, I used to do this. And so I walk up there with her. She's going, no, we've got cottage cheese.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You are reading and I can read. And she's like, no, we don't have any mozzarella. And I go, she goes, we used to have it.
Oh, good. That's a relief.
That's great because I came up here hoping for cheese, but I'll take a chat. I'll settle for a conversation. Either is good for me for pizza. So as long as we can have a 1 minute talk about cheese, that's as good as buying it for me. And then she goes, no, we used to, we had it, but we don't have it anymore. I said, a bit of a run on cheese was there. And she goes, no, sometimes we just don't order it. I go, oh, who's in charge of the ordering? She goes, I am.
So you said we when you said sometimes I don't order it.
I said, well, this has been no fun.
Yeah.
And what's more, you're the culprit. Thanks for reading out the cheese. So we had cottage cheese on a pizza.
So sorry about that.
It's okay.
At least you got the chat. The happy hour. Got an email from a fellow called Piddles, Ham.
Oh, no.
He joins us now. Piddles, thank you for joining us. I know your real name's Ashley, but I'm worried about you. Can you just please, in short, tell everyone why you got the nickname Piddles?
Oh, good day, fellas. How are you?
Piddles sounds almost like you're doing a character.
Yeah.
I mean, do you do kids' parties, Piddles?
Yeah, sometimes, nah.
There'd be enough Piddles there by themselves.
Ashley, how'd you get your nickname?
Oh, well, in primary school, you know, you got the little buddy system when you go to the toilets. Kids don't go to the toilet alone.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I remember,
well, yeah.
just in case you fall in, I guess, yeah.
Me and my mate went in, and my pee stream wasn't quite hard enough to hit the wall of the trough, I got the nickname Piddles because I was all over the floor.
Yeah, you just went straight into the base rather than against the wall. Now, Ashley...
Not even going to be a villain we see Batman fight, Piddles, but still an unlucky nickname for a young man to get.
I've learned to live with it.
Hey, Ashley, you have. Ashley, or Piddles, I should say, I love the story, but then I was worried for you, okay?
Why is that?
Because... this is how it started for me, and I recently had a major surgery on my downstairs area, and I'm worried that what's laughs for you and your mates now may turn into a colostomy bag for, say, 3 months and terrible groinal pain in the future. So,
I mean, this is the kind of thing that we used to laugh at Andy about.
Yeah.
He had trouble finishing up. His nickname could have more been like the dawdler.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the doodle dawdler.
Yeah.
Because we'd always, be like, come on, mate, just drip, because he knackered himself and busted his pipe.
So I've got a list of questions here to discern whether you have, in fact, the same urethral problem that I had, okay? I know.
All right, hit me.
Don't want to go all doctor on you, but consider this a diagnosis.
This could be life-saving.
Okay.
Are you still the slowest flow of your friends?
Yes.
Okay, Piddles. Okay. Is your nickname a derogatory name based on how slow you are at urinating?
Yes, it is.
We ask everyone the same questions.
Have you ever knackered yourself fairly badly?
Yes.
Did it happen before you got the nickname Piddles?
Well, I was 7 years old at the time. I don't think it did.
Yeah, right.
So were you piddling before that?
This is a worry.
Yes.
Okay.
Full-time piddler.
Has your flow decreased over time? Like it's still weakening?
No.
Okay, so it's just
Is it strengthening?
No, remaining the same, I would say.
Okay, because if it was strengthening, then you might be Wolverine and you're rebuilding your body.
Do you sometimes sit down to wee because it just takes so long and you can get away an iPhone game or something?
Yeah, only if I've got 100% battery on the phone.
Okay.
That's a long way.
Have you ever passed blood?
Sorry, what was that?
Have you ever passed blood?
No.
Okay, so you're not at critical.
No crimson Piddles.
I'm going to say you've got it. I think you've got the same problem I have, but maybe I think if you knackered yourself bad enough and scar tissue build up within your urethra but has stopped, it means that you have now...
Piddles, I'm going to jump in here and say, I know Andy had surgery 4 years ago and it was painful and it scarred him, but you should get advice from a doctor. Andy is not a qualified specialist.
Don't worry about a second opinion.
Urology. You probably
just book yourself straight into the surgery.
Endo is one of those people
Dr. Andy.
that goes through one surgery and then goes, and I think that now qualifies me to be a professional in this area of medicine.
All right, get a second opinion, Piddles.
Yeah.
But
Get a third opinion, because Endo's counts for 2. But get a third opinion.
thank you, mate. Good luck out there.
cheers.
Cheers,
Bye.
mate.
Ando, I've got a moment here. I've got an email that could lead to a moment for someone getting a gold-coloured watch.
Wow.
Jack, set the tone. Guys, my friends, family, and teachers all can't come up with a nickname for me. If you can't come up with a nickname for me, then you have to give me a gold-coloured watch to ease the pain. My name is Xanthi. Easy. Mad Dog. Next. Thanks, Xanthi, though. Almost had to give you a gold-coloured watch. Luckily, in the nick of time, we were able to think of Mad Dog for you. Didn't say that it had to be appropriate or
The
fit.
machine.
Yeah. You can have the machine, you can have Mad Dog, you can have Knuckles,
Noodles.
Snake Feet, the Wriggler, the Gypsy,
Yeah, crim hair.
Pork
Bun.
Nose.
Yeah, sure.
If you want pork nose.
They're all fine. You just can't take Hammer Time or Cackling Jack.
The Guggenham.
That's not bad.
If you eat a lot of ham, or you eat a Googleplex of ham a day, if you eat the world's largest number worth of ham.
Yeah, wow.
Duck
That's plenty.
nose. Why not always your nose? You've got a particularly bill-shaped nose. So there you go, Xanthi. More than enough to give you. Although, here's the risk you can run, though. Say you do take on Guggenham
Or
Duck Nose.
Yeah.
Sometimes a nickname can be so powerful that it overtakes your life. Like, it becomes more about... you get painted into a corner because of how powerful your nickname is.
So people call you by that so much that you start acting like that.
So our friend Aaron, who wants people to think that his name's Bomber, his nickname's Bomber, and for them to think of him as that kind of a guy.
Yeah.
But not enough people call him Bomber.
Yes, and he has
Hot Dogs from Big Brother.
Yeah.
His nickname overtook his life,
Yeah.
and it became bigger than he was.
Exactly. Suddenly he was making dog references.
You couldn't tell if
like
he was
a dog
making...
on his voicemail message.
Sometimes he was a dog, sometimes he was a sausage. He didn't know what type of hot dog he was.
Has your nickname consumed you?
That's who we'll hear from next, I reckon.
We want to hear from people, Ham, that their nicknames have kind of consumed them.
Too much to take.
Yeah, exactly. They've been called a certain name for so long that now they're really taking on the persona, which might have started out as more an ironic term or even just a passing phase.
I mean, Hot Dogs from Big Brother.
Yep.
Sprung to mind for us minutes ago. And are you as the Prowler?
No, you've put that on me.
But it slowly is creeping into your life.
No, it's
and
not.
since you got the nickname, you feel like you're allowed to prowl more, and now you have to come to work sometimes. But
and never will.
Encroaching on your prowling time.
Oliver, what is your nickname?
Hi, how's it going, guys?
Yeah, good.
My
Oliver.
nickname is Prof or Professor.
The Prof.
Professor.
The Professor.
How did you get the Professor?
Well, I work at a teaching hospital. I work in the operating theatre. Now, I'm not actually a trained nurse or anything like that.
What are you doing in there, man?
When you say anything like that, I mean, are you trained in medical procedures?
No, I'm not actually.
What do you do?
Well, I'm a theatre technician.
Oh, right. So you just make sure the
do you
instruments
lay
are-
out? Yeah, you lay out the tools.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, great.
So,
one
Basically, like a
pit
trade
crew. More the mechanic rather than the driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep it all running because, doctors can't think for themselves. So.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Yeah, good.
Little cocky there, Prof.
Oh, look, I am. I think with a nickname like the Prof, I can afford to be. So.
And so a surgeon is not a professor, are they? Does a professor outrank a surgeon?
Well, it depends what they're looking at from a teaching point of view, but they are definitely a more highly regarded.
I would say so. And the fact that you aren't an actual professor means that you can't get them on that crowd either. Oliver, thank you very much. Sienna, what's your nickname?
My nickname is the Tank or just Tank.
That's good.
Right, Sienna. Why is that?
How did you get Tank?
When I was around 13 or 14, during class, my friend and I randomly decided to have an arm wrestling match.
Mm-hmm.
And he was surprised by my strengths because I won the match with my non-dominant hand as well. So he started rounding up all these guys to verse me.
Yep.
It got a bit of a hand and it turned to an arm wrestling competition at lunchtime.
Yep.
and I was having a winning streak, but the teacher had to break it all up because
too many guys dislocated shoulders.
Yeah.
the tank has just taken out everyone in the village.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. My friend described at the time described me as being like a tank crushing every opponent in its path. So
I mean, if you've ever tried to arm wrestle a tank too, you can't get it.
Very sturdy metal.
I've never had an encounter with a tank yet, but it better watch out.
So, Sienna, are you proud of the nickname Tank, or is it something you want to grow out of?
No, I'm pretty fond of it, I think. I had it as my jersey, my 12 jersey.
Yeah, well, how old are you now? I mean,
19.
So this is 6 years ago, this arm wrestling contest. And have you ever wrestled since?
Yeah, I'm a bit out of it, but I've done it once or twice since then. It's a bit
exhibition matches.
Yeah, special shows.
It's an incredible thing. Would you come in? Would you arm wrestle Andy? With the tank take on Andy?
I would be a bit rusty, but I'd give it a go.
A rusty tank.
And would you?
I'm a rusty tank.
Prowler v Tank?
No, it won't be billed as that.
Would it be billed as the crane versus the tank?
No, not the crane either. But
the cement mixer?
Cement mixer's fine. Don't have a nickname. It could be Andy versus the tank. Yeah, sure. But I feel like Cackling Jack would also be a worthy opponent.
Do you know what?
Tank.
That's a great idea. What about Wonder Boy versus the tank? Jack, would you take on the tank?
I hate that because I actually gave you the idea.
Jack's giving me high eyebrows.
I'm like, get Andy, get him to challenge Andy. I'm doing arm wrestle maneuvers.
Well, actually, the tank can choose her opponent because she is the reigning champion.
Tank, who do you
pick? How it works in boxing matches. Who do you pick?
I'll probably start with someone easy first, maybe Cackling Jack.
The battering ram. All right, the tank versus the battering ram.
And look,
maybe I'll go up the next step. Maybe I'll try Andy if I'm feeling cocky.
Exactly. She takes down Cackling Jack on the undercard.
Who would you say is there? Is there anyone in
like
Grumpy
Bill
Dave
Brownless or Mick Malloy?
Yeah, Mick Malloy does roam these corridors from time to time.
Yeah.
I mean, Danny, who does our audio stuff, who's the magician behind all the sound effects. Yeah. He's sort of like
he's an Irish.
He's a mad Irishman.
He's more of a brawler though.
Yeah, he is.
I reckon probably Trav works out the most.
Yeah, Trav. Yeah, Trav, bearded Trav.
Yeah,
if you beat Jack, then Andy, you can take on Hercules. Trav.
Don't get too ahead of yourself. I'm only 19.
Yeah, that's a good point, Sienna.
We'll set up a day of fights in here at the radio station.
Thank you, Sienna. Good luck. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. And hey, during the show, of course, we had to set up epic arm wrestling bouts between Cackling Jack and the Tank, amongst many other things.
Should we get her in next week?
Yeah. Even diagnose someone with a problem in their downstairs. It all happened on the show. You can get the podcast, HamishAndy.com. But
you know how if you diagnose a disease, unfortunately, it gets named after you.
Yeah, right.
Like it's the opposite of a comet. Like if Halley found the comet, so we all call it Halley's Comet. But if Parkinson's, for instance, that guy was called Parkinson's. He diagnosed it, and it's named after him. So
that's a bit annoying.
It's not the best, but I mean, Ando, since you have diagnosed a few people with a ruptured urethra, is it possible we call it
Andy's wall,
Lee's dribble, or something?
Okay. Yeah, sure, either or.
Andy's wall, Andy's dam syndrome. So you did diagnose a guy with it on the show.
Yeah, Andy's dam syndrome. It sounds like it's a dam syndrome,
which also works because it's a nuisance.
But you and I haven't had a chance to catch up.
Let's do that.
And we should do that, of course, over jazz.
Ando.
Yeah.
What do you think the chances are in your life that you will yell the phrase, the Crimson Bandits got me again?
Never.
What if I could guarantee you it will happen?
Wow, I'd be pretty impressed. What kind of time frame?
1 year.
Within 1 year?
I mean, I have to get the suit made, but yeah, probably could get you twice within a year.
You'd want to outsource the Crimson Bandit work because I don't think you're ever going to get me.
Oh, mate, the Crimson Bandit could get you.
No, we can't. If it's you, no.
I could get you. I'll find ways to get you. All right. Serious question, though.
Yeah.
hypothetically speaking, obviously, if you're a chess piece, this is more of a metaphor for life. If you're a chess piece, what chess piece would you be?
The horse, maybe the knight?
Yep. I'd be Optimus Prime. At my house, we play him, and he can do everything. And he can't be captured.
Except by a knight?
No, because he's a robot on a medieval battlefield.
Hey, Ham.
Yeah.
You know how Jesus walked on water and did a lot of other
Yes,
cool
he
things?
did.
Yeah.
We've got the videos. We know he did it.
If he returns, how would you like to see him use that power in modern day?
Probably in Vegas.
Really? Just
Or
running
for
around?
like a TV special as a magician.
How's this? I read the rules. Freestyle at the Olympics can be any style you want.
Sprinting on water.
Sprinting on water. He'd win
What
gold.
nationality would he be? I think he's going to be somewhere around the Middle East, isn't he? That's generally the region.
Yeah, Jerusalem-y type area.
But I mean, if he comes back, he's not going to have papers, so it's really the first country to snatch him.
We'll have him.
And
Yeah.
say I owe you $10,000.
Yeah.
I can't pay it back. I'm completely bankrupt.
Oh, damn.
Okay. The only thing I can offer you is for me to be dressed fully as a convincing cat and to live at your house as your pet. I'm not allowed to say anything to you. I have to behave as a cat. How long do I have to live there for to pay back the debt?
I would hate that.
It's the only thing I can offer you.
Can you come around dressed as a butler and do butler-like things?
This is the only... I've already got the suit. I spent the 10 grand on the suit.
Okay, it's a good suit.
And I can't get out of it.
It'd be amazing. So you're in the suit full time?
Yep.
Okay.
How long? A month as a cat?
Nah, don't worry. Just call it off. I mean, look, I'll come round for a laugh.
Give us the 10 grand.
That's all I've got time for.
Yeah, it's the only skill I had to work it off. And the suit has paw hands on it, so I could never pick anything up or be an effective butler. I'm just a cat.
Just a cat living downstairs.
All over the house, hopefully. Watching you while you're with girls. Don't mind me. Cats don't know nothing.
Got time for
I wouldn't say that. That's the only phrase I would say.
Don't mind me, cats don't know nothing. HamishNetty.com for anything you may have missed. The podcast is there. We've also got more topics going up. We'll catch you next week, everyone.
Have a great weekend.
That was the Hamish and Andy Show podcast, powered by Amy. Lucky you're with Amy.